So a friend of mine recently got a job at Microsoft and it's great. I'm super proud of him. Shout out to him. Honestly, he was obviously the type of person who, based on the way that he carried himself, you knew that he would go on to do great things. Back in university, he was the type of person who would pull all-nighters just to get an extra 1% on this assignment. So, super smart, super hardworking. He deserves everything that's going on for him. I'm not here to talk shit. But it did get me thinking a bit like, what have I accomplished in my life? If anything at all, and I couldn't think of a single thing. I don't think I've ever had that moment where I was like, wow, I accomplished that, or I made that came out dirty. You know what I mean, right? What have I done that really had that wow factor? Maybe making that EP, but to be honest, no one really heard that. Maybe 5 people. And I forced all of them to listen to it. Well, anyways, back on topic. It made me think about like, why do I even feel this way? Why do I feel the need to compare myself to other people? We all go through our own journey. Number one, I think it comes down to human nature. Now, I'm not a psychologist, so I'm probably talking out my ass. My psychologist friends are probably like, Dylan, you don't know what you're talking about. But that's true. I think everyone on some level wants to be accepted by your peers. We're all very social creatures and we crave acceptance, whether that be through social status, like how cool you are, or financial means, like if you're a billionaire or if you got this great, awesome job. In turn, how do you know if you're doing well or if you're doing poorly in life? You end up looking at A, do people treat you well? Are they ignoring you? Are they treating you like a god? Or more realistically, somewhere in between? And then B, how do you perceive yourself versus the people around you? Are you doing better or worse? I know in my own life I've felt this pressure to put a little bit more effort in order to match or even exceed the people I perceive to be doing better than me, for the sole purpose of keeping up. Say I had this job where I'm moving boxes and one of my co-workers was able to move 5 boxes an hour. Well, now I want to match that, and then eventually I want to move 6 boxes. But then there's this other co-worker who's able to move 10 boxes an hour. So now I want to move 11 boxes, and the cycle repeats and repeats and repeats. Alright, that was a pretty dumb example, but you get what I mean, right? It becomes this never-ending self-induced competition that never really truly ends, because chances are there's always going to be a person who's just a little bit better at doing what you're doing. And that's sort of a double-edged sword, because on one hand, it's what really motivates me to do anything. If that pressure to exceed my peers wasn't there, I don't think I would do anything at all. I just sit on my ass and watch Netflix for 20 hours a day. I already do that. But on the other hand, it leaves me feeling this sort of emptiness, like I've never truly made it, and now I'm just doing stuff for the sake of doing them. Like, even if I enjoy the task, it saps out all of the passion that I had for it to begin with. So I definitely think there's a balance to be had there, and I'm not really sure where that line is, and I'm finding that passion almost comes in waves for me. One second I'll be interested in music, the other I'll be interested in filmmaking. Then at some point I'll just want to throw everything away and become homeless. It all just really depends. Another aspect is cultural. Depending how you were raised, I think you'd be more inclined to compare yourself to other people. I know, at least with the Asian community, it's very common for parents to compare their kids to each other, almost like trophies. Oh yeah? Your kid got all A's? That's great. Fuck you. Mine got all A's. He's a doctor. He's a millionaire. And he's 3 years old. And this adds another layer of pressure on top of you comparing yourself to other people. Now you have other people telling you what you should be doing, and it creates this sort of guilt when you're not doing what other people have been telling you to do. So it creates this weird feedback loop where you're being told what to do, you're feeling guilty, so you do more. You're told you're not doing enough, so you feel guilty again, so you do even more, and the cycle repeats. Now, how do you escape this loop? And honestly, I have no idea, and I don't want to pretend I have things figured out when obviously I don't. This is something I'm struggling with every single day, but I do believe that there is a way out. There has to be. There has to be. And I guess that's one of my superpowers. Even though I don't have everything figured out, even though I'm not exactly where I want to be in life, I was born with this almost foolish stubbornness to believe I could figure anything out. I remember when I was 14 trying to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube and telling myself, I will not leave this table until I learn how to solve this thing or I die. And eventually I did leave that table and I'm alive, I think. Anyways, as always, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, then subscribe because it helps. And until next time, peace.